like instant noodles, water. Red Cross workers are also out there handing out relief kits, things like towels, shoes, and other everyday items. The Chinese government has evacuated 1 million or so people, a lot of these people taking shelter in government buildings, and the government continues to update residents via text message to mobile phones about the impending weather conditions. But for now, lots of flights have been canceled, boats have been called back to shore, and bus transportation has been suspended.
Harry Smith gives us the rundown on a deadly weekend.
One distraught family watch as their home disappears in the flood. Swept away by the torrent that is Typhoon Morakot, the worst flooding to hit Taiwan in 50 years. And the anguish on these faces is mirrored across a region where they can only watch as nature takes its course.
Pray, fast. The month of August 7, 8, 9, 10. Why all this happen? Because we are in a generation without faith, without hope.
There are villages that are stranded, many that are considered missing, and now I guess the government is using rescue dogs anyway, any means necessary to try and find any of the missing or stranded villages. Tell us about that and how difficult it is at this point.
It is a very difficult task because given the example of Xiaolin village in Kaohsiung County, the entire village was swept away. And according to survivors, it happened on the morning of August the 9th, that's a Sunday local time, at 6:15 when people were asleep. And survivors said they heard voices sound as loud as thunder, and then within 5 seconds, within a short period of time, only 5 seconds, the entire village was gone. And now the government and the police, the army, they are using dogs, police dogs like canine to sniff out the survivors, if any, or of the dead bodies. And they are using all kinds of tools to dig up those bodies or those people who have survived. It's a terrible scene down here, and they were dropping these aid, food, medicine, but then the survivors are calling out for something else, Monita, and they were calling out for body bags. So it's utter devastation down here. Survivors are also telling me that this flood, it's like a beast that devoured the entire land, devouring roads and bridges. It sounded like doomsday, Monita.
Very desperate situation. Andrew Lee in Taipei, thank you so much. Well, heavy rains are triggering landslides in eastern China as well. Chinese media report 2 people were killed after being buried inside their apartment building. Beijing says Morakot has affected nearly 9 million citizens. Thousands of homes have been destroyed. At least 6 people died during the storm.
In the aftermath of Typhoon Morakot, on Monday the 10th of August 2009, the last day specified by Prophet TB Joshua, news broke of 2 earthquakes in Asia that occurred within minutes of each other, one near the Andaman Islands in the Indian Ocean and the other off the coast of Japan, triggering tsunami warnings, just as Prophet TB Joshua had said. Let's recall his words on Sunday, the 19th of July, 2009.
The sea is warming up. Sea is warming up, and something is warming up inside the sea, the ground, the land, down sea. There's going to be earthquake, and that will flush, bring the water into the city, into the community, and it will look like tsunami. Those who tourists living very close to the sea, this is a warning. The Asia country.
All right, you're back with Connect the World. We want to take you to a breaking news story that is just coming into CNN. Send Hala Grani is at the iDesk for you. Hala. Becky, yes, we understand a tsunami watch has now been issued and is in effect for India, Myanmar, Indonesia, Thailand, as well as Bangladesh. The breaking news coming into us, a 7.6 magnitude earthquake off of the Andaman Islands, which belong to India in the Indian Ocean. Guillermo Arduino joins us now with details on what more we know regarding the tsunami watch. Guillermo.
The most important thing to know is that whenever we're dealing with a hurricane, an earthquake of this magnitude, a tsunami watch warning is generated instantly. So you can take a router 493. We have Google Earth and we can show you the location exactly. Also bear in mind that this happens right on a fault line. So it's very prone for action like this, very close to Sumatra. And that's it. The USGS, that's the Geological Authority in the United States, the red dot is marking where the epicenter is. It happened roughly half an hour ago, 35 minutes ago. You see the Andaman Islands, Indian territory, and then that's right outside the tip of the island where the epicenter is. And the line that you see around, a thin line, that is marking the fault line. So you see how close we are where those tectonic plates interact with each other, and we expect movement like this. In this case, the number, the sheer number, 7.7 or 7.6 is extremely significant. Now, the Tsunami Warning Center, another organization that Becky mentioned, evaluates the situation from the point of view of a tsunami. This earthquake happened very deep in the ocean.
The ground, the land, downsea, there's going to be earthquake, and that will flush, bring the water into the city, into the community, and it will look like tsunami. Those who tourists living very close to the sea, this is a warning. The Asia country.
This earthquake happened very deep in the ocean, which indicates that we may not be very likely to see a vertical movement. In fact, the wires are saying that it was horizontally the movement on the ground. So whenever we have a vertical movement, we're more likely to see a tsunami because it creates an imbalance of the pressure in the water, which eventually will generate a wave. Now, because of the proximity to populated areas, it should have happened instantly if we had had something.
I'm going to cut you off here. I apologize, but we're getting word that there's been another earthquake at the exact same time, seemingly, this one in Japan. We can go to Morgan Neal, who is live in Tokyo, with the latest on that. Morgan, what can you tell us?
Hi, Holly. Yeah, it's still around 5 in the morning here, a little bit after, and we did feel a quake. It rocked the building I'm in. I'm on the 11th floor of an apartment building. Should point out this is something that happened just late Sunday, local time here in Tokyo as well.
Notice the key words used in the news report to describe these events: earthquake, tsunami, warning.
The tsunami watch has now been issued and is in effect for India, Myanmar, Indonesia, Thailand, as well as Bangladesh. The breaking news coming into us, a 7.6 magnitude earthquake off of the Andaman Islands, which belong to India in the Indian Ocean. Guillermo Arduino joins us now with details on what more we know regarding the tsunami watch. Guillermo.
The most important thing to know is that whenever we're dealing with a hurricane, an earthquake of this magnitude, a tsunami watch warning is generated instantly.
These were the very same words used by Prophet TB Joshua.
The sea is warming up. Sea is warming up. And something is warming up inside the sea. The ground, the land, downsea, there's going to be earthquake. And that will flush, bring the water into the city, into the community, and it will look like tsunami. Those who tourists living very close to the sea, this is a warning. The Asia country.
Watch another report tracing the development of this tsunami warning.
Sea level readings indicate a tsunami was generated. Those words coming from the Pacific Tsunami Warning Centre. This story is still developing. We don't know how big it was. We don't know much, but we're going to check in now with Guillermo Arduino at the International Weather Centre because, Guillermo, just tell us what you know. You've been in touch with all these guys. You're hearing all this.
Yeah, I was looking exactly on locations to know if it should